Well, truck drivers are in the middle of a protest at the moment at the front of a major supermarket in Adelaide, where people have gathered to express their concern over pay rates and meeting deadlines. Now, the Transport Workers Union is claiming Coles is using its market power to strangle the transport industry with low pay and what it says are impossible deadlines. And that may sound a little familiar to those in agriculture, where some farmers, particularly those in dairy, also have some concerns about their returns being pushed down by both major supermarkets. Tony Sheldon from the Transport Workers Union joins us. Tony Sheldon, thanks for your time on the Country Hour.
Absolute pleasure.
Now, why are transporters so concerned at the moment? Why are you protesting today?
Well, it's what Coles is doing is, of course, hammering farmers and food producers and driving down purchase prices at the farm gate. The same company is also squeezing truck drivers, and when you do that, it means that people are getting killed. And we've seen in the trucking industry 11 times the national average of fatalities of any other industry. And it's been squarely put at the feet of companies like Coles. They're extremely influential on trucking and the economic pressure they apply. If you don't get paid enough to maintain your vehicle, if you don't get paid enough to actually be able to get out and do a proper day's job, we're only doing 12 hours when they Coles under economic pressure requiring people, 20% of drivers saying they're doing more than 80 hours a week. That's horrendous. That's economic blackmail that needs to come to an end.
Now, that's quite a significant accusation you're making there. When you say people are facing impossible deadlines, for example, how can you back that up?
Well, economically, there's been, and also from a series of inquiries from coroner's reports to the National Transport Commission, just recently to a whole series of inquiries over the last decade, they've squarely put at the feet of major retailers like Coles for their economic pressure and their squeezing. Just as farmers get squeezed and food producers get squeezed, truck drivers get squeezed, and the inquiries are in. The results are there. And to the shame of Coles, while some of the other retailers are accepting the responsibility and in discussions about how they can deal with this pressure on truck drivers, Coles have just ruthlessly said, we will not accept what these coroner's reports have said. We will not accept what these government inquiries, independent inquiries have said. We're simply going to say that we are not to blame. It's a bit like, Hardy's with asbestos, denying that the dangers of asbestos, or Big Tobacco denying that smoking is a hazard.
Now, we did ask a representative from Coles to join us on the program. No one's available, but they did provide a statement which I'd like to read out. It says, quote, "This is yet another Transport Workers Union stunt, and the campaign has nothing to do with safety. It's a disguised wages push to boost union membership. Coles does not employ transport drivers. Logistics companies such as Toll and Linfox do, and the TWU's ongoing claims about Coles are baseless, and they consistently fail to produce evidence to support these claims." So, Tony Sheldon from the Transport Workers Union, what do you say to that? Is Coles right in saying this is just a push for more cash for your members?
Well, I guess when you get paid millions of dollars to spin doctor a lie, just like James Hardy or Big Tobacco, they must say anything to try to get out of being held accountable. But look, it's not what I say. It's actually, we've surveyed over 950 drivers, and they've said that 40% of those drivers have said that they've had to forego maintenance because of the pressure on them. And just recently there was a report, of course, in this terrible tragedy in Bangladesh with over 1,000 people killed, where one manufacturer over there, clothing, said
but Tony Sheldon, how is that relevant to these claims that you're making?
Because if you listen, you'll hear it. And that is, it is very relevant, because what happens is, economically, in the case of Bangladesh, a company there said that because of the pressure on them, they would not be able to properly keep even Bangladeshi laws. Now, when you apply that, whether it's in their supply chain in trucking or anywhere else, they refuse to take responsibility for that undue economic pressure. Only a matter of 3 weeks ago or so that they were saying to Coca-Cola, you've got to drive your prices down and effectively send Australian jobs to Indonesia. Now, Coles is a very profitable company. The Australian retail market is the most profitable in the world. The CEO, and good credit to him, he gets $57,000 a day. $57,000 a day. You could actually retire after a day and a half if you're a truck driver.
Tony Sheldon, we do need to wrap up. I might just get you to conclude your comments.
Well, I think what's critical here, and that is that we're asking Coles to come to the table, look at the evidence. They've got the evidence in front of them. Inquiries and coroner's reports have said it. Now let's turn around and start making our roads safer. We all deserve it.
Tony Sheldon, thanks for your time today. Tony Sheldon, he's National Secretary for the Transport Workers Union. Time now to get the latest in regional news headlines with Tim Jeans.